Well, my life is a junkyard. This is out in the driveway. Look out, dummy. Okay. Well, what is that? Well, it looks like an Axelson lathe, and that's exactly what that is. I bought this a year ago from Yoder. He had this thing on eBay for $3,200. And so I bought this last summer. He skidded it really well, but what's sitting there costs $5,000 to sit there. Okay. But we'll talk a little bit about an Axelson lathe. I'm kind of a detail guy. The one thing that's different about me is I actually use these things. And the mid-sized gearhead lathe is a machine I have the most experience with over the years. I'm real fast on them. But I've used Axelsons quite a bit. But in reality, if I was going to do a money-making machine, you know, needed something to really make money, it would be a Morisiki or something like that. Not that this machine is not capable, but it is very slow to actually use. Some might remember way back on internet forums the late Carla. Now Carla is from California where these were made and had a lot of experience on them. And she said, and I found it to be true, that if you're doing the same work on a Monarch lathe of about this size, you're going to find this Axelson is going to work you a lot harder. At the end of the day, you're going to be a little bit more tired because everything is heavy. And it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's that the machine is absolutely built overkill. Okay, let's look at a couple of things. The carriage here, I think it's 26 inches long. It's almost as long as that monstrous headstock. That's a 24-speed headstock with built-in reversing gears. And that's kind of important in a way if you're into threading, like I am. I cut all kinds of threads, multiple start, Acme, metric, whatever. And this machine offers quite a few possibilities in that direction. And let's see, well, that's mainly because of the reversing spindle. And so the familiar headstock lever here, when you pull it forward, it'll the chuck will go forward direction, normal. When you push it to neutral, an hydraulic brake that's adjustable will stop the spindle rapidly. Then you push the lever further back, then it instantly reverses. And that's done by gears without the electric motor. The electric motor constantly runs. Okay, now this is kind of fun. Here is the old quick change gearbox. You can see it's open and it growls at you a little bit. It's easy to clean. And it's kind of neat in a way. And I don't know if you can see in there very well, but those gears are 7/8 of an inch wide. And everything about the machine, like shifting, it's hard. You know, all this stuff, it's heavy and it's clunky. The shifters up here are pretty much the same way. This is an older one, and it has spring detents. The newer ones, you have to pull the lever out to shift. And they made them pin locking like that because evidently these things can walk out of gear. But this is an older one with 5 horsepower. That's all it's got. It's 5 horsepower here, the motor. But later on, they put up to 15 horsepower on this. This is a 1941 machine. It had the shifter's a little bit different than the later ones. you'll see on the internet. The one thing that I really miss is it does not have the special stop for threading. They put that on a year or two later, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna move stuff out. I got a KDK 200 tool post on it and a solid steel Cushman 12-inch chuck. Boy, that's a nice one there. I got that from HGR for a couple $100. There's no deals like that since. Okay, everything's heavy, heavy, heavy. I mean, these clutch levers, if one of these fell off on your foot, it'd break your toe. All this stuff's heavy, heavy, heavy duty. One of the great things about this, I'm a person that really cuts threads. Hydraulics, all kinds of stuff. I cut lots of threads. I don't think anyone ever cut a thread on this machine. This was jammed. I can't detect any wear on the lead screw. But that's fairly typical. Now, kind of the joke's on me here. On this model of machine, it was an option to have a crank to move the tailstock. And this tailstock is monstrously heavy. It's really heavy. And to move it, you have to get behind it here and push it. But, you know, that's the way that goes. Also, the tailstock has 2 speeds. You got to see this. Okay. Here it's in high speed. You pull it out, or you push it in. I think you pull it out. Crank it a little bit. Oh, I got the pin. There we go. Okay, now that's slow speed. You know, for heavy drilling and stuff. So let me get it back in. Okay. Now this one I want to show you. A little bit of difference here with an excellent tailstock. There's no screw. Most tailstocks have a screw to move the quill. This moves the quill with this rack and a pinion in here and the 2-speed gearing. So I thought you might find that kind of cool. I do. Seems to work perfectly well. Okay, here's the taper attachment here. This thing is monstrously heavy. It's got a cool little feature I thought was pretty cool. You take this little cover off. It's got a really nice scale there. Really nice, nicely made. I still kind of got to clean this thing up. Now this machine, everything worked on it, but it's just absolutely dirty, and I've really made a lot of progress on it. Work on it when I can. Okay. Now this might be of interest to those that cut threads. This cover here comes off easily, and you have an open gear train like old time machines like South Bends or old LeBlancs, old conehead machines. It's just like that. And it's kind of neat that they retain that, because you can do any kind of gear changes you want. Put any size gear on there by taking this cover off. All right. Let's see. Okay, back here, this is the door to adjust the clutch on the machine. And the one thing, if you're going to buy one of these, hopefully the clutch is working, because it's not real easy to change out the clutch. It'll take you a while. You'll have to probably make some special tools to remove a whole bunch of stuff. Luckily, I've got a good clutch here. Alrighty. That should be good for now, I would think. Sounds like my dog's going to attack somebody. Okay, goodbye.